playing this the guitar here, which is my other Flameback Garcia, which is a Model 2 made in the 70s, and I just love the way this looks on the wall. But what I want to talk about today is this is kind of a Bach approach. Coming down arpeggios, down the scale. But I want to talk a little bit about my experience with Alan Holdsworth. I don't have the experience that a lot of people have, where I was in a band with him or something like that. Would have been great, right? But what I do want to talk about is he was involved with my speed pick for a while that I invented. That's marketed by Dunlap along with my Zookies. Check it out. You can do a search on eBay for Speed Picker Zookies, Zookies, or just go to Dunlap and check it out. That's a project that I designed, invented, and took 7 years to get to market. It was a tremendous experience and learning experience, like getting a doctorate in marketing and learning about publicity and injection molds and patents and marketing the whole year. It was a big project, but it was such a positive experience, even though at times it was really frustrating. But what I want to talk about, and I want to tie this into the guitar ladder system too, because it makes sense. During the time that Alan Holdsworth was using my speed pick, which is an ergonomically designed pick that has a little twist at the end to give you a more parallel picking angle, we used to talk on the phone quite a bit, and it was really interesting. He used to talk about the unconscious release. He even played me some things on a little cassette player. He'd go, wait, let me go get my cassette and listen to this. He was really happy when he would record himself somewhere, and then he'd play back the recording and find little licks that he's never in his life ever done, but his subconscious, he called it the subconscious release, and he was always so excited because he'd come up with something that he'd never played before that way. But you got to understand, folks, your subconscious is always absorbing, it's always working on things, it's always comparing and contrasting, and that's what's so powerful about the guitar ladder system is when you do my 240 studies plus, and the chordal work is what really provides a tremendous growth, because you learn the language of music, you learn the 10 different systems of improvisation, and what's really interesting is even when you're not playing guitar, your subconscious mind is a giant. It runs the whole physiology of your body. So even when you're not maybe working on one of my studies or playing guitar or just messing around or whatever, your subconscious mind is looking at what you've been doing and making observations and comparing this to that and this to that, coming up with conclusions. Well, if we did this, it would sound like this. This all happens on this is heavy, man. This all happens on a subconscious level, and it really works. The emails I get from people is just incredible. I mean, if you're feeling a hunch, which is your intuition, to invest the $199 in the guitar ladder system, go for it. It's going to work for you. Just go to stevezookguitars.com, order the guitar ladder system. I do not send it all at once because it's not effective that way. But that was so interesting hearing Alan Holdsworth talk about the unconscious release, because that's what happens too with the guitar ladder system. It doesn't happen overnight. It's different with everybody. But you start to work on these studies and you begin to hear and use these different, 10 improvisational approaches, which are mixed up, by the way. They're not all just like one study has one. And you begin to learn about smooth voice leading and chord connection and how things sound musical and how to create different musical styles and different musical flavors. And you begin to discover your own unique musical point of view. There's no better high on the planet, folks. It really works. But you need to kind of input that information, and then your subconscious mind, which is it's a giant. Even Pat Metheny says everything interesting comes from the subconscious. I mean, our body is a walking miracle. It's so complex. Can you imagine if you had to run all the physiology of your body with your conscious mind? Forget it, right? I mean, the subconscious mind is just so powerful. So the guitar ladder system feeds the subconscious mind. And then, like I said, even when you're sleeping, it's comparing and contrasting, and it happens all the time. You begin to understand how to create different types of tension and resolution, create different styles, different flavors. It really, really works. We don't annoy the subconscious mind, we complement it. But if you really want to take your guitar playing and your ability to compose and write as far as humanly possible, first step, stop limiting yourself. Stop saying, oh, I don't have much natural talent, or I'll never be very good, or I'll never be as good as this player. Stop all that bullshit. Just appreciate the fact that you're not like that one guy that plays with his feet, which is incredible. More power to that guy. That's just such a beautiful, inspirational story. He was born with no arms, so he plays with his feet. So you're already way ahead. But I mean, if you really want to discover, and I swear, I've got people who have emailed me, tons of people have emailed saying that they've grown much more than they thought they ever could because they felt they didn't have much natural talent. I know this is a bold statement, but the guitar ladder system can actually wake up latent, talent deep within because it's so powerful and it presents the information. It's like pouring water into the sand. It just soaks in. It presents the information in a way that doesn't annoy your subconscious mind. It complements it, and it allows your subconscious mind to really begin to discover, I don't like the word secrets, but begin to discover different ways to create different types of styles and color and space. So my suggestion is go for it. But I remember once I got together with Alan and some of his friends at a bar. I'm not much of a drinker. I'll have a beer or a glass of wine every few months, and I'm not even enjoying that lately. I don't like the change in my electromagnetic field. I much prefer meditation and walking and working out with light weights and stuff. But anyway, the time that I had some beers with Alan and some of his friends was really cool. But I think the point I'm trying to make here too is that you need to condition your subconscious mind so it can create, okay? And then also you need to work really hard on developing technique. And oh yeah, I almost forgot this. Another thing that Alan Holdsworth said to me on the phone was that he tries to get to a point where he can play like he thinks. That's just incredible. And to do that, you have to have a lot of technique. So you've got to spend a lot of time developing technique. And if you watch Alan Holdsworth, his live in Tokyo, oh my God, the playing is so incredible. But you can see by the look on his head and the way he's moving his head, and you can hear it, he's playing from his subconscious. It's a really, really beautiful thing. But it is some work, and that's where technique is so important. You don't develop technique so you can just blaze. You develop technique so you can release your unique style and learn to play like you think, both composing with chords as well as single note patterns. But you got to put the time in. That's why when I was young, I would do 5-6 hours of scales a day. Now, if you're older, you don't need to do that, but an hour or two a day of working on single note technique is really important, placing accents. But I just thought that was really interesting, and you can hear when a player is playing kind of from the subconscious mind. But I thought that was really cool that Alan shared that with me. He's like, yeah, I'm trying to get to that point where I can play like I think. So to do that, you have to have a lot of a lot of technique. But also, Alan spent the time to learn how to improvise chordally speaking. He was kind of had the approach that I kind of do, which is, any chord can follow any chord. John McLaughlin says the same thing. But sure, we can learn from these other systems of improvisation like diatonic, symmetric, intervallic, flat, five, sub, whatever, but we don't have to define it all. That's a key point. In my guitar ladder system, I'm not going to spend a half an hour talking about diatonic harmony or symmetrical improvisation or intervallic. It's all included in the studies. All you have to do is play these studies and listen, and according to the science of neuroplasticity, your subconscious mind has, this is incredible, an open switch and a save switch when you're not so outcome and results oriented, but you just stay in the here and now. This is really important. Stay in the here and now and stay positive. In other words, don't try to put everything in a box. Don't try to figure everything out. Again, you don't annoy the subconscious mind with a bunch of cute little, bullshit formulas. I'm not saying these formulas and ideas are not valid, but they can definitely hold you back. It's like Bruce Lee said, at some point he just transcended, definitions, and it's all just martial arts. He didn't let himself be restricted by one style or this style, and then he came up with his own style, which was kind of a amalgamation of different styles. I know Eric Johnson loves that. Eric Johnson says the same thing, by the way, that compositional skills are based on improvisational skills. But seriously, folks, this is, I mean, sure, I love to sell my guitar ladder course, but it goes way, way, way deeper than that. I'm trying to help serve people by helping you discover your unique musical point of view by helping you take your guitar playing and understanding of music as far as humanly possible this life. Learn to discover your unique musical point of view deep within. It's not just going to pop out on its own, trust me. And most books are so restricted to one style or one approach, and it's very, very left brain. You need to teach the right brain. You need to teach the subconscious mind. You need to give your subconscious mind enough tools where it can then begin to assimilate these tools and help you take some quantum leaps, which it really will. So I mean, if something in this is resonating with you, I really highly suggest just go to stevezookguitars.com, order the guitar ladder system. I'll give you a whole year to try it out, but I want you try it out for a year. If you don't agree, you had a quantum leap, I'll give you your money back, but I want you to try it for a year. Is it going to take a year? I don't think so. But I want, because of it, we're all so busy nowadays and different schedules and whatnot, I don't want you just to try it for a month and then say, well, gee, I don't know. You know, you got to give it a chance. A lot of people begin to see this unfolding of understanding of music on a deep level in a month or two. It's just, everybody's a little bit different, but you know, my guitar ladder system came from my own, a lot of research. I studied with Joe Pass. I studied with Horace Hatchett 4 times. Horace Hatchett taught Howard Roberts how to play. Howard Roberts started the Musicians Institute in North Hollywood, and I actually studied with his teacher when he was, and Howard Roberts was young in Arizona. He studied with studied with Horace Hatchett. But anyway, folks, if something's resonating with you, if you really love music and you really love guitar, stop obsessing about what next piece of gear you're going to buy. I know we all do it, right? Stop obsessing about what guitar you're going to buy or what amp. Invest a couple $100 in the guitar ladder system, and it's mostly for intermediate and advanced players. I've had advanced players, some of them signed to record deals, who've ordered the guitar ladder system because they just admit to me, Steve, I want to learn to compose. I want to broaden my compositional skills. I've had some incredible people order it from me, but it doesn't matter. You know, don't limit yourself. Don't tell yourself, "Oh, I only have this much natural ability, and I can only get this good." Don't stop comparing yourself to other people that maybe learn a little quicker. Some people have called the guitar ladder system musical meditation. It really works. It's going to unfold musical talent that you don't even know that you have, and it's going to manifest ideas and compositions that you have no idea are lurking deep within your mind. It really works. So I mean, my advice is don't overthink it. I've got 40 years of research into this. It really works, folks. Just go to stevezookguitars.com, order the guitar ladder system. You're really going to be glad that you did. It's very simple to use. It's not complex. I don't get into a bunch of bogged down discussions. You just do the studies. You take your time. I don't send it all at once. You get a chart and a video for every study, but it really works. But anyway, so I just wanted to share that step. I just thought that was so cool when I was talking to Alan Holdsworth on the phone, and he mentioned the subconscious release and went and got his tape player and shared a couple things. But anyway, this guitar is available. Like I said, it's a 73. I'm really going to miss my Garcias because I love each one of them. It's got an interesting tone. I'm just using a $100 recorder, by the way. Hear that resonance? And I just love this flame back. It looks so beautiful on my wall in my office. Anyway, I'm really going to miss my Garcias. I've got 4. I'm probably going to keep one and sell the rest. But yeah, you got to have a little bit of power to get the tone out. But even played lightly, hear that? It really has a nice sound. I'll stop right there. Let's get one more shot of the back. It is just so beautiful. I just love the look of flame wood, especially when it's on an older 70s guitar like this. On this one, the back has gotten, I know it's a little dusty, the back has gotten a little bit darker looking, which just looks so cool. I just love that. It kind of moves when you play guitar. But yeah, seriously, folks, you know, if you really love guitar and you really love music, stop being so obsessed by what guitar you're going to buy next or what amp or effect, whatever. Invest the $199 in the Guitar Ladder system. You're really going to be glad you did it. You're going to discover your own musical self and discover your own musical point of view. Just go to stevezookguitars.com, order the Guitar Ladder system. It's going to be one of the most positive things you ever do in life. I'm serious, folks. I got my heart and soul into this. Take care.